all these people screaming facts, but they fake woke. Hate their neighbor cause he wears a mask or he stays home. Has a daughter but his favorite artist said he slays hoes. Picks her up from school, music slaps on the way home. Censorship's an issue cause they choose what they erase. There's a difference between hate speech and speech that you hate. I think Black Lives Matter was the stupidest name, when the system's screwing everyone exactly the same. I just want to spend Thanksgiving Day with food and my family, without being accused of celebrating native casualties. We got so divided, it's black and white and political. Republicans are big.
What's up? What's up? Can everybody hear me okay? Type 1 in the chat if you can.
Loud and clear, man.
Awesome, 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 guys. Welcome to the stream. Welcome anyone who hasn't been here. If there are any people, we only have 23 today. It's okay. Today, to some of us, was an uneventful day. Like, I was busy with setting up all the helium mining stuff and work, and just market was very slow, right? But there's some of us who did several 1 to 20s and 1 to 50s, and that's some of us called Reem, for those of you who know Reem is. So I got a lot of research to do on the charts that he posted. There's only one way to be the best. You have to beat the best. And that's what I'm personally striving for. All right. Well, so how was everybody's weekend? What did you guys do? Did you go anywhere? Did you do anything fun? Hopefully you didn't sit on the charts the whole time. You spent a little time back testing, but it's important to take care of your health, family, everything else. You only have one life, One day you're not going to have parents, so spend time with loved ones. Couple of things. Number one, everything we say here is not, take it with a grain of salt. That's our opinion on the markets. We're not financial advisors here. Number two, I swear to God, I took some medicine to slow me down because I was angry. I'm trying to figure out how to not get angry at little trolls that are in these chats in Mike's group, in Peter's group. There's always some smartass that flashes his FTMO passing and then tries to go toe to toe with me and stuff. I understand this, guys. Nobody in this business who hasn't made it to multi-millionaire status gives a shit, literally, about how good or bad you're doing. Mentors like myself, we do because, I'd like to have my students achieve success. But in the grand scheme of things, you're competing against yourself. You're competing. You shouldn't, it doesn't matter what I think about your trading. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks except for you. You are the honest to yourself. So if I see this bullshit, hey, I think you're fraud, or I think I make more money than you, I don't care. But it pisses me off that there's still people like this. And so, you don't get to, I guess, be the fury if you say for nothing, right? And I have connections with whatever. If I see all this kind of crap, number one, I'm just not going to do streams. Number two, I'm going to ask Mike to remove you from the group. I have connections. I hate when people just waste everybody's time. Instead of being productive and helping each other grow and helping everyone learn, you just want to flash your dick. Nobody cares. So just wanted to get that off my chest. Sorry, guys. I get angry at that.
At the end of the day, it's your bank account. It's your livelihood.
Exactly.
Trading is not a team sport. Never has been until multi-level marketing decided to stick its nose in it. So that's relatively new. At the end of the day, you still have to be the one looking at the charts, pulling the trigger. for the buy, the call, the put, whatever it is, and also managing your money. So keeping that in mind, all of us are here because we want to bring everybody up with us. We're not trying to suppress anybody. We're not trying to push them down or step over someone trying to get higher or even look good on Instagram. It's all about helping everybody grow. So if you guys are with us, be with us. But if you're not, get the hell out.
Yep, I agree. If you have nothing nice to say, just leave. And if anyone talks to me about how much money I make, I swear to God, unless you make more than me, and the only way I'll believe you if you give me your FX book or the whole monthly statement of withdrawals, I swear to God, I'm gonna go off on you. You're not gonna hear the end of it. All right. Let's be nice again, Yuri. All right. So Euro USD, or wait, before Euro USD, I want to show, like, I don't know if anyone got affected by this gold stuff. But this was freaking awesome. I was at the doctor's appointment for my therapy, so I actually got the buy to the sell, but this was unreal. You could get into it, but it just dropped. I mean, yesterday night it dropped, but that was already continuation, and that was freaking crazy too. But like, if you were holding from Friday, you would be in a lot of profit. But if you just gambled and got lucky, good for you. But you shouldn't usually don't trade during that time. But if you're kudos to you, if you held from Friday, had a nice dinner probably. But let's just talk about this 1 minute. It was a beauty on 1 minute here. It actually, so it essentially what it did was took out all of the liquidity, sucked in everyone to the buy, right? Broke some kind of structure, but essentially it came to the last point of liquidity over here. I have time. So if you knew where the last point of liquidity is, which is again something we're going to teach on the boot camp that's coming up, you would know that. I mean, it like to the pip kind of thing. So it literally took out all this liquidity just slightly and came to this little, I don't even call it a candle, like this doji. Pretty sure. Yeah. Like exactly on the dot. Like if I put this through here. Came exactly in the middle there. You see? Like it was, that's what we call sniping, like for real. You don't get more precise than that. And many people are like, well, how do you know it's not mitigated? Well, because all it did is touch this wick. So why is this significant? Why did it come higher? So you got to ask yourself a question. Well, because where did the bank get in? The bank get in here, right? Then they exchanged some money and then it just dropped, right? So this reaction up is the last demand level here, but it doesn't end with this wick. It technically spans all the way here. So if gold is only pair you were trading, you could have definitely snatched that up. Wasn't the easiest trade, but Peter disagrees. Peter thought it was super easy to get that, but I don't know if you got it or just analyzed later, but that was the goal. Now imagine getting in here and dropping and holding through Friday, where it dropped like 800 points in 30 minutes. 800 points in 30 minutes is absolutely insane, right? So what do I see for gold later? And that is important. So I don't believe we have taken liquidity yet, right? We just came here. So what do we say about these long wicks? It is 100% of the time a liquidity. Ryan, it's okay. What's going on, you guys? You got disconnected there.
Yeah, I had to restart it because it froze on me. So
right?
we're good.
So anytime you see a wick like this, that is obviously the reaction from the demand level, but it always means liquidity. All of these long wicks, they always get taken out. 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 You see this wick? That is exactly the same thing. We drop like crazy, create this wick, come back, mitigate, and come back. So it's very possible we'll come back over here before we're dropping, which is why I drew this line. I'll show you in a second. I still think the target is lower. I think the target is, so I'm still bearish as fuck on gold. Like, oh Jesus, what's going on? Why so big? Oh, I just do this. Yeah, so I still think the target is here. I still would love for gold to come to the 1500 level, which is, ironically, this last unmitigated order block here, right? And then the extreme is even lower at like 1460. But this is the push, right? This is what caused this movement. Smart money trap and the actual push. Okay. Go ahead, by the way, guys. Ask questions. If you want to ask questions, ask them in the Q&A. All right. So that everybody can see. Because I don't know if Ryan, are you logged in on YouTube as well?
I am
watching on YouTube.
Yep. I'm both.
Yep.
Yep. And then any comments, just put in the chat. We'll find them. We'll try to answer the best we can.
Awesome. Ryan's on top of this today.
Yes.
On top of this shit. All right.
It's because I'm not at work.
Finally. All right. So this is why I would never sell here with the sell limit with gold. Now we did drop from here, but it is the Asian high, which is, meant to be broken. And number two, the actual move started from over here. And then we had a base drop type of supply and demand. I don't know if you can see this, but like if I go smaller, maybe you can see a little better. Yeah. It's very right here, like one, drop, base, come back, drop, right? Drop, little reaction, reaccumulate, drop. So on my opinion, the only way I will sell here if we see an order flow shift. Let me know, guys, if you want me to go over the order flow shift again. I went over in the last session quite extensively over what that is. But if you need to, I can recite it again. So I do think that a lot of people, retail people, will take this as a very strong level of resistance, and therefore they will put their stops over here. Plus, that's the Asian range. Or I'd say, I gotcha. All right, cool. So over here, everybody will be putting their sells, right? Sell limits in this place. Stop loss above here. There's still people that sold from there. They'll put stop loss in here. There's still breakout traders that will say, if this is broken, we're going to go here. So this, to me, is a perfect area for the trap, right? So I advise you not to, because this is how beginners smart money think. They think, okay, well, this is all liquidity, bullshit. It's going to take the liquidity and then mitigate out of here. Which I'm not saying it can be possible. The market can do whatever the hell they want. But to me, it from my logical thinking is that they actually crank the market on a Friday, right? And then, interesting enough, I saw someone in the chat, someone posted, I think it was Damney or someone, that FTMO or some funding talent, someone disallowed trading on Monday for gold. On Friday, there was an announcement and they closed gold for trading. And then, of course, Sunday it dropped. So they're saying it's not a coincidence. So maybe they knew something. Who knows? But yeah, so from my logic, I think this is gonna come here first, take out all these sellers, stop losses, get people FOMO'd that holy shit, gold is going up, let's buy, right? They're gonna take the bait, then it's gonna bounce. They're and they're going to look for a retest, the retest traders, and that's where it actually will drop. So I will be looking for a reaction and an order flow shift here. Jesus. Woo! Some crazy stuff. Nice. YouTube, Facebook.com.
Yeah, that's facebook.com/Furious Snipers LLC, or Facebook page.
But YouTube is Furious Snipers LLC, not Furious Snipers. Yeah. Yeah, and it's one word too. Just telling you. You probably will find it if you search it. I don't know. I never tried. So anywho, so actually, the only thing I don't know, I actually like the higher level always better, just because here I can clearly see drop base drop, and this level here, it really stop loss is smaller, and it just looks beautiful. The 1788 to 1794. So I have a sell limit at 1788, even 1790. I think is my stop loss because I just put it right here. Yeah, like 1788, 80 to 1799, 80 is where I'm looking for a sell limit. If it decides to turn around after grabbing this earlier, I'll be waiting with that. Right, that's what I have on gold. Euro is, on my opinion, the best setup, and you can see it from the daily. Just sitting on my hands and waiting, because again, and I will go over the order flow shift in a second, guys. Let me just go through some pairs first. So as we can see, right, we're still structure-wise bullish, as Mike would say. Look at the lags. Here's the lag, the low that created the high. We're still in this range. All of this is garbage, right? It means absolutely nothing, just to confuse you. Remember that institutions, they do trade on large time frames. So what we can see is this wick, right, took out liquidity, awesome, and then it came and did nothing, right? It bounced over here, did not take the low, therefore becoming long wick again, right? Becoming liquidity. So this came here and grabbed liquidity, but notice how that did not take the high, meaning that is now liquidity. Understand where liquidity is, and you will dominate the markets. Forget about smart money, order blocks, forget about everything except for structure and liquidity. If you understand where liquidity is, you can take advantage of this, because you know that once that liquidity is taken, it is taken for a reason. Reason market takes liquidity is because it needs orders to go further. So it needs these orders that are sitting underneath here in order to break this high, because we're still bullish. Okay, so on my opinion, I'm almost 100% positive, not to be overconfident or anything, that we're going to take this low here, right? And of course, today it just kept going. Didn't even freaking return, as Peter told me. I didn't believe him, but it did. So kudos to Peter. But anyway, so it's coming for this liquidity, right? And then if you look over here, the reason I love this candle here and this wick is because it induced all of the sellers to sell over here before it jumped, right? So that's a perfect order block. Took out liquidity just enough. By the way, this is daily, so this is probably like 20 pips, 20, 30 pips. So that was enough to trigger sell stops over here to go up. So if they needed more liquidity and come down here, they would have done it over here before coming up. They didn't. So, and this is still unmitigated. So I have a house sitting over here on the very extreme, right? Because this is too much, right? 16, 17 to like almost 20 pips here. So at the bottom on 5 minutes, I have a house. And then, of course, the whole area is waiting for an order flow shift. All right, so that's what we're waiting for here. So this, on my opinion, is the most beautiful setup that's been setting up for 6 months already. So don't miss it. Kind of like I missed GU one day. I remember that. Oh, this is just too good. Oh my God, 50% of this. Yeah, baby. This is too good. So yeah, so you want to pay attention over here once this low gets taken. That's all I'm doing on EU, right? Like if you can, I also like sometimes like research positions. Again, it could easily take out this high, confuse everybody, and pull up to this kissing candle or higher. You know, God knows we got imbalances here. Obviously not entering unless I find order flow shift here, right? If I see order flow shift, then I will sell here, okay? To do a sell to buy. Otherwise, I am only interested in buying once it gets up there. So for this week, I'm pretty certain we're going to be bearish on everything against the dollar, on the gold, on EU, on GU, on AU. We're going to be bearish. Now, come Wednesday, there's no big news this week. I don't think so. If I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah, so it's going to be pretty choppy week, pretty non-volatile week. So we'll just keep slowly, step by step, coming down, I think. All right, so
Wheels always Wednesday. No.
GA, I saw something really awesome. Let me see real fast. That's the last one I'm going to go over real fast, and then I'm going to, oh, no, wait, GU and GA. And then I'll talk about order flow. Okay, 189.10 is my sell limit on GA. 189.10, so is that 15 minutes? Yeah, so this is the perfect, by the way, order flow shift. This is also a structural shift, not just order flow shift. Oh, Jesus, it missed me by 7 pips. Can you please come back? I think it should still come back because the last point liquidity has. I still want it to be here. I still want it to come back here. So there's a couple of observations. So watch, guys, on this one. All right, we got a high, we got a low, we got a higher high, and then we break the low, right? We break the low. This is last point liquidity, but if you look at what actually happened over here, what actually happened is well, this is the order flow shift right here, by the way, on the smaller time frame. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So this is where we failed to make a higher high, and then we broke some structure, came back to create more liquidity, and we have not mitigated out of, like, we come here, but I think that smart money is still over there. I'm not too confident, but from what I see here, this almost no wick over here at all, and almost no wick over here at all. This imbalance, you guys see this giant hole over here? All right, so to me, I still feel like they have orders. Plus, what did I tell you about the wicks? I tell you it's liquidity always. And if you know where liquidity is, you know where the money sits. So number one, it's a wick. Number two, it's a high of Asian range right now. So this is perfect because everybody in the world is, trying to buy from this freaking imaginary trend line, and everybody is trying to sell from, if they're trading on a 15-minute, from this supposed support resistance. So it's going to take the high and hopefully drop. So I do have a sell limit there. no big deal. Only like, I think 7 pips or something. You can go 50% and make less pips, or 80%, like Mike likes to do with 50, 80. So pretty simple setup, I think. It's a clear order flow shift here, clear structural shift here. So we just showed where we want to go. And this is a complex pullback, aka like the what's the opposite of the creek? I forgot what's it called in Wyckoff. Like break the ice, whatever.
What could the floor? Yeah, the ice. Yeah, on the distribution, right?
So that's what it is, pretty much. So we had the distribution here, and now we got coming up redistributing here, right? Of course, now see how we you know, if you're doing what Mike does, right? So this perfectly mitigated from this distribution and broke structure to the downside. So this is a perfect Wyckoff redistribution, you know. So just great setup. And then GU, I sold from over here. No, over here. No, where the fuck did I sell? Hold on, let me look. 38. Where did I sell there? It's always, oh, there we go. Yeah, that's fine. What? No, I missed that one. There's 78, yeah. So I sold over here week to week. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. I was probably looking at 5 minutes or 1 minute, so just broke, came back, sold. So yeah, bearish, obviously bearish, but this looks awesome as well, just like EU, but it looks like it's a little bit, might happen a little bit sooner, right? So I see it, I have a limit here at 137.88, just 6 pips stop loss, and then I will see what the price doing. I might take off the limit. I might, whatever. I haven't decided yet. So the reason is, so look, this is just perfect liquidity here now. We're chilling in this level. Pit stop. We might come back over here, mitigate here. We might come back to my sell limit that's higher as well. You can see this is my, what is this? My Oenda testing account where I just do weird stuff. So it might come back there. I highly doubt it will, because we're just breaking structure and biting this. This is a perfect place right here, because this was the demand, right? And we got drop, base, drop again. Drop, base, drop. But the fact that this wick here turned into demand makes me think we're already just going to come down. But of course, the actual sell and redistribution on smaller time frame happened over here, so we could tap into this marker that I have right here. If you look at what happened, I call this smart money trap 101, because most people will say, hey, look, imbalance, liquidity, imbalance, and the candle, right? So, and this used to work probably yeah, Daniel. But this used to work probably 3 years ago. When I started trading, this shit worked. No longer, the algorithms are improving. Now they have inducement, liquidity inducement, and they have smart money trader traps. Because ICT or whoever spread the wisdom, it got to their attention. They know that people are up to smart money trading. So now they're actually taking out the retail first, then go after smart money. So there's going to be always a reaction from the smart money to make the smart money traders think they're good, and then they take them out. Sometimes this goes through it. Like gold had the same. Gold, was it gold? No, GA on Friday. Oh, I didn't show that trade. That was freaking amazing. I'm going to talk about order flow. We'll talk about what happened Friday. So it was a perfect order flow shift on Friday. And when they came back, it was the same exact thing, meaning smart money trap killed, and then yeah, it was this. I'm lost in a second. So I'm looking at 3 minutes. Give me a second, guys. I'm trying here. I'm trying. What was it? GN? Either GA or GN. It change on me. Did it happen? Oh, right here. So in 1 minute, if we look at this real fast, sorry, kind of ran around, but I want you to see, guys. So if you're looking at this here picture, at least half of you, I guarantee you, are thinking, well, shit, structural break, right? No imbalances here. It's somewhere in here that it's going to come back to. I'm going to try to trade out of here, right? Drop a 1 if you thought this for a second. At least one person. That you would try to buy out of here. There you go. David, appreciate your honesty, sir. Randy. So this is the smart money trap, right? So everybody, the smart money trap or the retail trap is here because they're, you know, break and retest shit. They try to buy from here, so they're gonna take them first. But if you look at actually what happened on, and I had to go to 15 second to actually see this, but I understand the ranges and I can see it from the wicks, but you'll see it on 15 seconds. If you go to 15 seconds and you follow the magic white ball, watch. Where are we at? I'm lost again. No, I'm not lost. I'm not lost. Sorry. So we're coming down, up, coming down, coming up, coming down, coming up. And what happens then? We don't come down, right? So it's right here that the market switched up. This was the switch, not that. So market changed direction right here. And if you look closely at this area, what do you see? See this perfect whole balance over here? All right, so let's go back to the minute. Hello. TradingView doesn't like me. I'm frozen. All right, so if we go back over here, it's going to come back because you can't see it on 1 minute, but like with a clear eye, unless you figure out what is going on, what are the changes. But so if you look what happens, it just kills it. All right, so you're killed over here. It comes perfectly into here that you can see on 15 seconds clearly, but that's a common practice now, what they do, those assholes. So if we come back to what we were looking at, was it GU? GU. On over here, it's the same freaking thing. You guys see the similarity? And the reason is it's an algorithm. It's going to do the same fucking thing. So that makes me a lot more confident to be waiting on a buy over here. We still got to get there. So we could pull up before, but that's where I'm waiting. And again, like this is not just by incident that it's like here. It's because I went to like 30 seconds and I saw something. So that's GU, right? So we got GU, gold, euro, and GA that I went over. That's all I prepared. So we're gonna go to other pairs maybe, but let me talk about order flow real fast. Ivan, pay attention. So conceptually, the easiest way to explain, then I'll go to GA and GN to demonstrate. My guys already saw already, the ones that been on one-on-ones. I went over one-on-ones, drilled it in the hat. Oh no, wait, it was Friday. It was free-for-all Friday. Remember that, Brian?
Yes, yep.
That was a fun night.
Yeah.
So when the market's moving up, right, we're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And then we make a higher low, let's say mitigate from some IFC. And then we go up and we fail to make a higher high, right? That's your first step to the order flow shift, right? So I'm gonna go over, I'm gonna write this down again. Somebody tell me, okay. Get out of here. All right, so step one is failed higher high. Failed higher high or lower low. Right? That's step one. So first you'll see it bounce, mitigate, and fail to break the high. Right? Step two is you want the mitigation out of here to break the actual low that created the high. All right. So not this one. That one's obvious, but it needs to break the one that made the high. Okay. Now, the lower it goes, the better it is, meaning the more probable the trade's going to work out. But it at least on my, like, that's my rules, again, my criteria. You know, it might just break this and come down, obviously, but I'm not confident when it just breaks this because we didn't make a, you know, this is nothing, right? This didn't make a higher high, so that's not even internal structure or anything. This is the range from here to here, right? So this doesn't mean anything to me. It can break this both sides, whatever it wants to. That is the low that made this high. So it needs to break the last lower low that created the high, the last order block, right? So step two, break or boof, right? Boof, break of the order block that led to higher high. Okay. Step three, you need to find the candle that broke it, right? And it's going to come always, market will come always to one of two places. Either the exchange between the supply and demand, aka the breaker, which is here, right? Could also be here, right? Depending on structure of candles. Or it will come back to the source, the last unmitigated order block, the last point of liquidity, the extreme in here. That's where you should execute. All right, so that is an order flow shift, and then you just wait for mitigation. Now, if you look at this, you will see that this is nothing more than accumulation, manipulation, distribution, mitigation, also known as AMD. Woo. Mind blown. AMD and order flow shift happens at the same time. Okay, so that's your order flow shift. So step three, find the candle that led to break of the order block or internal structure. Does that make sense? Whoever wanted to see it again, Ivan or who else? I forgot. Randy. All right, Shakira. Yeah. Okay, there's some answers there. How much do you risk per trade when you look at light time frame entries? So percentage-wise, Daniel, it's got to be according to your trading plan, but I always risk the same percentage, no matter what. It doesn't matter if I enter 15 seconds or what. The lot might increase, the amount of pips that I'm risking might decrease, but the percentage is always the same. It's always 0.5%. I always risk 0.5%. As you know, sometimes I do it lower if I do multiple entries or stack, but the overall percentage per trade is always 0.5%. In fact, if you deviate from whatever your rule is, whether it is 1% or 0.25% or 0.5% or 2%, whatever it is, then you're screwing with your ratio. Then you're gambling. You want to be consistent no matter what. So if you just got, as they say, hurt, if you just lost 5 trades in a row and you got humbled and you're like, yeah, I'm not confident of risking as much. And then you risk, I don't know if anyone experienced this, then you risk less and it goes all the way for like 100 pips. And then you're sitting here and you're like, fuck, if only I just did the same thing that I did always, I would have made up all my losses and then some more. That's why you don't vary your, percentage. It's always the same thing.
Key. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, all right, cool. So that's the order flow shift. So let me show you what happened on. You guys want to see GA or GN or both? It was freaking phenomenal. So Friday, right? Friday. Let's go to 1 hour. I want to just clean everything. Clean everything up to Friday. Here. All right, so if you see this, all right, you see, oh, this is already too late, right? No, well, yeah, I already explained what happened with the trap, with the smart money trap, but technically, right, when you see this, you want the structure is bullish, right? So you shouldn't be trying to sell this. Number one, you shouldn't. Right? Coming up, it's coming up. At least not yet. We did some giant accumulation, but then we took this high, right? So if you're trading on a smaller time frame, you can see what we did, this giant FOMC craziness, whatever this was, news of some kind, blah, blah, blah. We keep moving up, creating the range. Now we're in London, mitigate, we reaccumulate. That's the creek, right? Shake out, boom, come back to the creek, and then boom, we break structure. But if you look for the order flow shift, and by the way, okay, let's go even further. That's why. Okay, I'm tripping. I shouldn't be tripping, but I am. Okay, so do we just randomly always look for order flow shift? That makes no sense, right? You want to look for order flow shift in your IFCs. And your IFCs should be measured at 1 hour or 4 hour, right? So let's say you were bullish on this thing. Where would you place your potential IFC? Right here, right? Looking at 1 hour, this looks like a good area. That's the last sell before we buy. This is the last sell before we buy. Last candle gets engulfed in balance, all that stuff. This looks to me all mitigated, blah, blah, blah. So this is my IFC. So when the price comes to here, I'm going to switch to 5 minutes and look for order flow shift. Institutionally funded candle, FU candle, order block, all the same thing. So we're right. We're coming down. We tapped, right? We have a reaction. All right. So now I want to switch to 5 minutes and see if it comes into my area and changes the order flow. So come here, boom, still lower low, still lower low, still lower low. Mitigation, boom, 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 boom. Don't know what we're doing. Try to that. Boom. Okay, come back. Okay. Come back before here. All right, this is important, guys. So whatever the news was here, right? So order flow, what's the first step? Right? I that created the low. I that failed to create a lower low. So that's step 1, right? Failed lower low. Okay, step 2 is we need to break the order block, the last order block that did create the order block, which is here. Okay. This technically does break it. And yes, we need to look at our initial point of interest, right? When you mark out your points of interest, your POIs, right? You mark it out like this, right? Mark it out. When it touches it or comes close to it, whatever it is, that's where you want to switch to 5 minutes and start to look for order flow shift. So essentially in areas of accumulation distribution, in areas of range, in the areas where the banks got in and it's about to mitigate, or the area that you think it's going to mitigate at, that's where you want to look for order flow shift. If it's not an extreme area, in extreme, you can set a limit. In not extreme, you need to only look for order flow shift. No order flow shift, no entry, period. So when you got here, we failed to create a lower low. And then we do break this structure. But if you look at ginormous, crazy wick, what does it do? It doesn't close here. It doesn't just go like, 2 candles with one high like this. It's a wick that has more wick in it than a candle. There's barely any candle in here. It comes right back into the range. So it doesn't give me confidence that we're going up yet. This could be that falling hammer or whatever the freaking candlestick retail pattern here that says we're gonna melt. So I can't just go, hey, you reset, break a structure, third step, try to find an entry. On top of this, I see a bunch of range accumulation formed here. Right? These are very equal lows right there. These are very equal lows right there. Or fairly equal, I don't know. Where's my shit? Boom, right? Now, if we come lower and lower and lower, look at what I circled over here. Look at that bitch. Look at that. How awesome. Like, guys, see this candle, last candle gold by imbalance right there. See this liquidity grab here. Right? Sitting right under this liquidity. Now, Where does retail think our support resistance is? Right over here. Right? What do we do? The break and retest. Hey, look, that's the retest. That's the reaction. They think we're good. Told you, first, the retail people get screwed. Then people that follow structure, like whatever, and I think right here, or maybe in this candle somewhere, there's an order block or something. But we know better because we see the range and we know that extremes work very well, and we know the last one liquidity is here. Boom, right under liquidity. I told you, find liquidity, you'll figure out where the money is. You know where the money is, you know where the banks will go. Market is drawn to liquidity. So if you were to put a limit here, that's not an order flow shift, that's that extreme, right? So you could put an extreme limit here. See what happens. Oh my goodness. Taps right into there, takes out liquidity, and then what? Boom! What's the significance of that? We actually break the Asian high and we break the structure to the top. Full structure. We have a new higher high. Okay, sorry. I'll remove the circle. You're right. Okay, try in here. All right. All right. Okay, we have the new higher high. Now, once we have the new higher high, I told you the deeper it is, the better probable it is. Now, as I told you, here's that smart money trap. And here was the entry for real. So now the order flow really shifted, right? If you were on extreme, you could have gotten in the best entry ever. If you're not on extreme, the order flow has shifted. And now you look for, in this leg here, what's the best entry? The third step is find the candle that led to the break of structure, which in this case, I told you it was going down and then it shifted over here. So it was this minus the trap, right? Because you could have said, well, this is the slingshot candle. Well, if this is a slingshot candle, you want to wait for a schematic if you're doing the Wyckoff, right? So schematic does happen, but it happens to be a spring lower. So don't matter how you trade, really don't matter. So, you know, you can say, here's your schematic, right? You could say, here's your schematic and try to knock yourself out of measuring this out and labeling it. But, or you could say, hey, that's another AMD, or you can understand where the manipulation and shift happened and just enter on the order flow shift or an extreme. So that was a beautiful entry. And GN did like identical, except for it was more dirty in the sense that it actually came to the extreme twice. But it did the same exact thing. I'm just gonna show you this real quick. It was much cleaner, on my opinion, than GA. So once again, this high led to the low. This high fails to make a low. And then we have this wick that most people say, well, now we broke this order block. So there's nowhere to enter here to me. And we have this perfect range created before that. And if you look at 1 minute again, if you look at 1 minute again, your boy, who's your boy? Look at that. Look, I mean, is it hard, guys? Like, what the hell? You want to be super fancy? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution, mitigation. But the range, the high taken out, structure showing you what's it doing. Here's your creek. Here's your shakeout, come back, boom, whatever. Doesn't matter how you look at it. It is going to be posted on YouTube for sure, sir. It's automatically recorded in the live stream. Make sure you look at Furious Snipers LLC, all videos and live videos included, live video recording, not posted videos. There's an option there. So, but the thing is, it came here, and then when it broke actual order flow for real and came back, it came back to the freaking, you know, something on a 15-second, like real extreme second time. This entry from extreme was just textbook. And then this was really nasty. So for a lot of people that don't take partials when they're supposed to and put stop loss and profit, that would have hit your stop loss and profit guaranteed and then ran away far away without you. So I don't know, this is like 1 to 100 trade. You know, like, because it went all the way to here. That's related to gold. That's the same time, because gold affects Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. So when gold dropped, that went up. Because gold drops, Aussie and Kiwi both drop. And so that's what you got. So from here to here, if you were smart enough to get in this trade, fuck you, FTMO. What is this? 1 to 30. Okay. Easy trade. I appreciate it, Burkham. I hope I'm not mispronouncing it. Okay, so what do you do when the market comes back to grab the liquidity? Do you take a second entry, close the first one before it is big? So, man, you definitely need to come to the bootcamp, hint, because I'll talk about all of those things and it'll all be combined in one bootcamp. We're going to go for like 6 hours. So the answer to that question is not a straightforward one, but because it depends. But when it comes back to grab, look, it depends what I'm doing, right? It depends what time. Like if it comes back right away, I'm waiting. If I gotta go away and do work, or go to my work, then I'll just leave it. Which what I do is what I teach my guys, the way to almost never lose in this game. Almost never lose, because everybody's like, oh, I don't want to lose, and they get their shit in their head, and then they're like paralyzed, can't execute, can't pull the trigger. So the way not to lose is to understand that out of any order block, right? Any order block, even if you're wrong, there's going to be a reaction. Like, this is what I mean. Let's say you thought, for some stupid reason, you thought this is a buy here, right? You see this wick here and then goes into the wick there. So that's a reaction, right? That's a reaction from the demand, right? So that's your reaction to demand that turns back into supply. So knowing that there's going to be a reaction, you can get an easy 1 to 2 almost anywhere, right? Get 1 to 30. You can do 1 to 2 everywhere. So anytime I am trading, or most of the time, unless I'm just doing from an extreme, I will do 2 entries. The first entry will go 1 to 2. Right? The first entry will go 1 to 2. The second, oh shit, that's not 1 to 2. The second entry will be 1 to whatever your target is. Now, whether or not you take full position on both of them or you take half a position, that's up to you and your trading plan. But this makes sure you never lose, because let's say it goes 1 to 2 and you win. Then the second one claps you. And by the way, when you do this, you do not put your stop loss in profit at all. You leave it where it's at. So it comes back to grab liquidity. It's fine. This one took it. The second one is going all the way. Or it comes back and comes through it. Then you lost the 1 here, but you won 2 here. So you're still up 1, right? So technically you lost, but practically you still won. And if you take 10 trades and 10 of them hit your stop loss at the end, you got 10%. If your risk, if the reward is 1%. Well, that adds up, right? 10% is, you can be down for a week for some people, right? So, and then the next one, both of them hit profit. So now you're up 20%. Same. So that's how I approach that stuff, right? And by the way, 90% of the time, people think this. People think that it's going to come to your order block, and then it's going to break some internal structure, and it's just going to keep going, right? Not necessarily. 90% of the time, the motherfucker will still come back over here, second time, and then take off. Like, the reason I know it is, Ryan, what the hell, man? You're hopping back in, up and down. What's going on?
I know, man. I had a glitch in power, and now I'm back.
Sheesh. It just keeps ringing in my ear. So what I'm saying is, if this if this comes here, don't be so fast as to put your stop loss into profit. Now, what I do want you to do is get into a habit of paying yourself. So it is totally okay to take partials. But if you take partials and you know what I just told you, they will almost always come back. Don't put your stop loss in profit. You already freaking do partials. What are you afraid of now? Oh, I can't lose. Understand the equity, like how equity works. Because more often than not, it's not going to, like, if you did your analysis and we're bullish, it should not come lower anymore. It will come back for the stop losses in profit, and write that down and see how many times, journal it and see how many times it will come back. And it's almost always. And then you sit there and you say, I'm never going to do that again, but you forget about it. And you do the same thing again.
That's why I live by that 2-to-1 thing, man. That's why.
But the 2-to-1 is the easiest thing to remember. You don't need to monitor anything, do anything. Just put 2 orders. 1 to 2, 1 whatever. I have several snipers now say, oh my God, it's been a blessing. He's like, I lost 10 trades in a row, but I'm up 10%. Well, sheesh. Good for you, buddy. Stop over trading, but good for you. You know?
Well, you lose you hit the first one, you lose the second, you're still up 1%. You do that 10 times, of course.
And it also, gives you that confidence that you need, that say, hey, I lost. I know why I lost, but at least I'm good with money. I'm getting better. I'm not going to make the same mistake, but I'm good with money.
And it calms your nerves and patience and everything else.
Yeah, exactly. And it prevents over trading too. Absolutely. By the way, if you have a niche, always put 0.01. That's my other trade. Always, that's my research position. They're always going in 0.01.
If you have if you have a problem over trading, just trade with me. I'm slow and steady all the time.
Don't trade with it. It's easier to watch ICT videos or paint dry. It's easier than trading with you, dude. No, I'm messing, dude. So, all right. So what we got? Oh boy. Not there yet. We're not there yet. We're still coming down. And it makes sense from,
Chef Jappy, huh?
When finish, go over EuroCat. Okay, we'll do next. All right, so like I said, I didn't prepare anything else besides what I just went over. Yeah, okay, so this led to that. So now we're just complex pullbacking into this, but I see this exchange point here, but we're not there yet. So Euro GBP is still bearish for now. It'll be somewhere in this area that it should. Bro, that was the one that I went over the most. EU. I went over it for like 25 minutes. Go back to the recording. That's my favorite pair, or like right now, it's number one setup. Did you join late or something? And so, yeah, I wanted it to come back there. It never did. Overall, we're still bearish on Euro GBP, right? So we're still bearish. There's a freaking hole over here. Bunch of liquidity before that. We're just in a range, right? We can't do shit in the range. We need to wait. Yeah, you need to wait. So we're still bearish, right? This is still mitigated. We're still bearish. So you got to look for a sell, and I don't see a very nice sell that you can gas, but this, I hate wicks, so that to me is liquidity. So you don't want to sell somewhere here, all this shit, like, because again, where is retail, right? The retail is going to be here. They're going to be putting stop losses there. So it might do this. It might come here. All right, 50% of that. I like that extreme. I like that extreme. And then I really like this point right here, because this is where the banks were. This is that exchange between supply and demand, but we never mitigated this manipulation that led to the break of structure. That, yeah, so the bank is here. Right, this is where the bank is. So if you could try this just for the hell of it, because that's where it took Asian high and drop. So it's a nice extreme. It could just come here and die easily. But after taking all this, but to me, all of this is liquidity until the point where the banks got in, which is here. It's nice area to sell from. Right? You don't want to sell low, right? You want to sell high. So that's, yeah, I'm not looking to trade it this week, but if it can find the way there, which I highly doubt, that could be a good sell. We're not buying until this area. We got a long way to go. This looks a long way. It's like 70 pips. But for Euro GBP, 70 pips is significant because it doesn't move that fast. What's this? Man, who the hell is messaging? Oh, it's Mike. It's doing his Helium group setup videos for everyone. About that, if you are not with Mike, you can sign up with me. It's free. And mine some Helium tokens. It's fun. Join the revolution. Make extra, guaranteed $50 a month. Maybe more if you sign people up.
You don't sound like an infomercial at all.
No. I was talking about EU, not US 30, Greg. So let's go over you. Wait, first EuroCAD, somebody said, and then US 30. EuroCAD, US 30. EuroCAD, US 30. Send charts, by the way, if you have ideas, send charts. I might say, hey, good job, or no, this is bullshit. All right. Because it's much easier if you have a chart, and I didn't analyze something, so I don't spend time here too much. EuroCAD. Interesting area. Oh, yeah. So that's another trap here. It's another smart money trap. Like, I wouldn't buy it till here. I wouldn't buy EuroCAD till here. So, like, take a look, right? Let's say you thought this is the right order block from which, let's say you thought, okay, it's going to take liquidity. Boom. It's going to take liquidity and bounce here. Like it already came here, right? So it bounced. Is this a significant bounce? No. It's just, this is a crap reaction, but this is a base. So this is that we're in demand area right now, in the flippy area, if you will. Everything's clean here. Everything's mitigated. There's no, like that already took out everything. There's no seller sitting. So what are they doing? They're probably just redistributing here, redistributing their position to do what? How many people right now are freaking thinking of this as support resistance? Look at that. All right. How many people? How many people are thinking, shit, I'm so smart. I know how to draw a trend line. Oh, wait, I was wrong. It's actually this way. So people are buying. I'm sure of that. Let me see. What the hell? What's that? Forex Center. Forex Factory. Forex Factory. Not Forex Factory. MyFX. All right. It's, hold on. Turn on the lights. Can't see. Sitting in the dark here. Sentiment. All right. So EuroCAD. Where's EuroCAD? You see EuroCAD? Hey, stop this. EuroCAD. Look at this. Are people buying? Holy crap. Now, I'm sure they were right here like last week, and now they're increased. Like I wasn't looking at this, but we can see if we go in there. I don't know if you guys know, we can go into the graph. We can see, so they're, let's see, 15 minutes. It's pretty flat. Look at that. Daily basis. They're crazy, the retail people. They're increasing the buys, retail. And what is market doing? Coming down.
It's going to take the low.
So they're adding buys. So we should do what? Sell. Right? So that's another reason you don't want to buy this here. So it's going to most likely create some kind of range tonight. And then either do a little wick to the top, just a little bit, maybe like to here, or maybe just drop like the floor drops, because everybody right now thinks this is support. Everybody thinks the X marks the cross, or cross marks the spot, whatever he says, Oren, right? So everybody is coming up here and saying, oh, okay, well, I am going to put this over here. And somebody says, you know what? No, I'm going to be crazier. I'm going to put it here. So all of this is liquidity. All of this is going to get grabbed. And I really like this spot here, but what do we need here? Everybody, order flow shift. This is what I want. I want Wyckoff schematic. I want order flow shift. I want AMD. For this to drop and then compress, slow down, and turn around. Right? So this is on 4 hours. So definitely on my opinion, you can write that down. Yuri said so. Do not buy this. You're cray. If you're looking at structure, why would you buy this? There's nothing here that says buy. So I hope that helps with EuroCAD. Whoever asked, I can see who asked. All right, Daniel. Yeah, EuroCAD. Oh, you're looking for a sell. 14.8. What is this? 4 hours. 50.80. Okay, let me look at this side. So you're selling, so that's good. Meaty candle. No. Where was this at? Oh, I like this extreme, bro. This is what I like. I like this extreme. Whatever's in this candle, half of this candle. That's what I like. Is that where I marked it up? Let's see again. 140, 90 basically, right? 0.49, something like that. You're here, you're right here. Yeah, so this is good area. I wouldn't put a limit there, but I would put a limit where I said in the top part after the liquidity grab, right? After the liquidity grab, can't explain to you why. We'll explain at the bootcamp. But this is the last buy to sell. So yeah, this is a good area. If we get there, I kind of doubt we're going to get there because we got a magnet over here. And this magnet says price, come over here. So if we do turn around, then yes. But you would need an order flow shift because there is stuff that it could come to above this too. Or the extreme at the top, right? But I highly doubt it's gonna just undo all of this redistribution and just turn around. It might. It did it twice, right? But then we just broke this stuff, so, and we have a very poor reaction from here. So like I said, highly doubt it's gonna come there. If it does, that's a great setup, sir. All right, US 30. US 30, oh boy. So I have a general rule that I acquired from John Fibonacci, and that is to never sell indices unless there is divergence. That is, I see that, I mean, I agree with that sell, kind of, except for structure is still super bullish. So if this happens, I think the reaction will be there. Definitely do 1 to 2, 1 to whatever. But let me see. US 30. Yeah, like, look, we just, yeah. Oh my God. I hate when you mark something up, it works out perfectly. And then you see it and you're like, oh, I didn't play this. Son of a bitch. I'm a millionaire on TradingView. I'm telling you. I'm a multimillionaire on TradingView, like a long time ago. Is like I can't trade at all, right? So I don't take some good setups. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, so we went and made a higher high, and now we just took some liquidity, tapped into this. Here's the trap again. Smart money trap. You guys see this all the time? The same freaking thing. The market shifted over here. Smart money trap. Take it out, then come back. Yeah, I would be very careful with that sell that you did. Also, we got wick here. Wick is what? Liquidity. So we got wick here. Wick is what? Wick is what? Liquidity. Liquidity is here. That wick was taken out. You rest assured this will be taken out. This will be taken out too. So that's a no for me. But if you do, make sure you protect yourself. 35 on 62, 3 minutes. Like, look, I'm on 1 hour, and higher time frame always trumps lower time frames. I don't see like this was sort of an order flow shift over here, but the demand is holding right now. The demand is holding still. And the structure is holding and the demand is holding. But, on 3 minutes, such a small time frame, like, where was your entry? Damn it. 35 on 62. Yeah. No way. No, I see you. But I can't guarantee anything. I'm just saying that this will probably be like this. This is what all sheep most likely will write. Reason, for those of you who don't know this and never been to Mike Navarrette's, if you measure the move up before the move down, right? This move up, this whole move up from here. You can see this was the order block that pushed it above the structure, right? When it comes to mitigate, whatever point it bounces off, let's say it's this point that you drew because it's last point liquidity, whatever. Once it's equal to, once the move is equal to this move up here, it's done mitigating. At that point, they can keep going up once they're mitigated. So maybe it's something you didn't know. Maybe it's something you do know. If you measure this move up, it's what, 20, what is this, 25 points. So you measure 25 points here, that's how much it's going to come back at least, right? And if you look in the left, what's over here? Right, that's the FU here, right? So that is your supply. So it's gonna come here, bounce off this, bounce back to the point of last supply turn demand and come higher. I can't guarantee this. This is what I see will happen, right? That's what I see will happen. It could create a bunch of ranges here, blah, 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 but that's the overall move. So, and so number one, if you do, that's your one trade, the second trade to whatever you put. Number two, if you do, remember that the best sells on indices, they're 95% of the time, they're bullish. So, remember that it's better to look at divergence between the indices. Come on. All right, so if man, the US 30 does not create structure, it's very hard to do anything. So like something like this, when this makes a high like that, and this makes a high low like this, that's where you sell NASDAQ. Right. So if we're both coming here and you see on a smaller time frame where you're looking 3 minutes, when it comes to your POI, if this one keeps going, right, and that one, the US 30, hey, US 30 does this, then you will have NASDAQ going up, US 30 going down, and then you can try to sell US 30. But other than that, I never sell indices. Plus, I just explained to you why I highly doubt this is going to just sell off from where you're looking here. There's like structure-wise too, like you think about this, right? We had this low that led here. In between, we had accumulation, reaccumulation, last point of supply, this sell that turned into demand, manipulation of smart money, we bounced, coming up. And it's just my story, sticking to it, right? That's my story, sticking to it. So highly advised not to sell US 30 right now. Just my advice. Trust your own analysis. Doesn't matter what I say. If you're confident in your analysis, do it. Just telling you 1 to 2, 1, 2, whatever. All right. Q&A. What's Q&A?
No, he's asking you to look at the Q&A.
Oh, what's the Q&A? Oh, shit. Can you look and see a chat, JPY? Dude, no, so divergence. Man, that used to be my bread and butter, buddy. I said sell may go up to 17, then dump, but dump to where? Oh, bro, David, long term, I am looking at 1500. Long term gold, I'm short until 1500. Of course, it's not going to happen overnight, although it could. Gold is crazy. But if you look at gold, where the hell is gold? Gold, so it went from like 50 or 65 to 75 today. People are buying gold again. So they were buying gold like crazy, and so it just dropped. So if you look at daily gold levels, we have a huge target at 1660, right? Huge equal lows. And the smart money trap is right here. That's like 1600. But this is where everything shifted. This led to the break of structure. This is a whole level 1500. This is where all the liquidity was swept. This is where the order flow shifted. This, like, all roads lead to one thing. Right? And to me, this is it. Like, if I had to put a magnet here, it would be the size of my head, which is pretty big. So it's this area is where gold going. So if you get a good gold entry, like, just hold it, dude. Add positions, hold it until you see a break of structure. Like, look how long we've been bearish and we're not stopping. Like, since we're a year already, right? 1 year we've been bearish. So I'm not saying this entry necessarily I'm looking. So my first target would be, again, like here. This 1660. I mean, that's plenty for me. 1780, 1660, you know, that's 1,200 pips. So 120 points, 1,200 pips. You know, if that's not enough for you, like, you're greedy. Get a life. So that one's that. Can we look at CHF JPY? Oh, I'll go over divergence in a second. Don't worry, I'm not abandoning anyone. I'll answer all questions. CHF JPY. I need some water. Shit. Peter executed that one, man, on 1 minute. Like, fucking insane, amazing stuff. He got into that one on Friday. Man, it's the same thing that happened on gold pretty much. You see? All of this garbage, and then back to supply, back to where they were playing. So that let's point of liquidity can happen from both sides. That's important. Anyway, so what are you looking for CHF JPY? Like, where to get into a sell? Because I hope you're not trying to buy this. This, like, it has potential to go all the way to this 118. And then if it breaks this, all the way to, like, over here. So, but it's not even halfway down. So from the higher time frame perspective, yeah, let me erase everything fast. From the higher time perspective, you see you are still bullish, correct? Right? We're still bullish, but where is the bulls that got in, right? They got in right here, right? And what do I say about these wicks, right? This wick didn't do shit to this wick. Neither this, neither this, that. Right. So I'm not convinced that it's not going to just clean it. But you are for certain can wait till right here. Right. You can wait till right here for it to keep going down. So you need to look at the area of the sell. So from the daily perspective, I can see this is where the market reacted, reached up and dropped. So that is on the daily, from what I can see, is the last area of supply. right? The exchange point, drop, base drop. Right, so you can see this really clearly on a smaller time frame. You can refine it. We're here, 1 hour. Asian range and a wick right above Asian range. Solid. You could even go above this wick. 15-minute. Oh, this would be sick if it just went above this wick in, like all the way to here and then down. Yeah. Let me see. There's a hole in here. No holes. There's a hole in here. So this is one of those things. If I were to put the sell limit, it would be an extreme over here. But if I am looking for a sell just to get into this pair, like I would look for order flow shift here, then above the Asian range, right? So this to me is all liquidity. So this is the first stop that I would be looking to sell from. Look at that, that's my POI. So like if it touches this in London, I'd be waiting to see the order flow shift, right? You remember what the order flow shift is. So I want to see something like this, bam, and come back here to sell, or come back here to sell. All right, that's what I want for CHF JPY, and the target is like at the very least over here. Right, so that should give you 100 pips, maybe 120 pips down, risking only like 10. This whole area is like 10 pips, 13. But if you want to get precise, you could get like a 3-point stop loss for 125 drop. Hope that helps, man. Would you buy around 118.92? Not by buy limit, I won't. If the order flow shifted, I would, and my extreme is here. My extreme is 118.75. Probably. And again, there's other techniques that I'm gonna go over in bootcamp as well of entering the market, and like still pisses me off, but oh man. Yeah, this looks too good right here. This 118.80 level. Somewhere here. So like I already described before, the entering stacking way is, let's say you risk 1%. If you risk 1%, like, but you don't know if it's gonna go here or if it's gonna come 50%, or it's gonna go 80%. So why don't you stop guessing and put, you know, half a lot, 1 lot, 2 lots, 3 lots, 5 lots, whatever your thing, all combined, let's say equal 1% or 2%, all of these orders combined. And if this is the correct POI, and I'm talking about when you don't have time to look at the market, when you need to go to work or have a date with your wife or baby, something, right? And you just can only rely on sell buy limits, then that's what you should do. Because if you lose all of this, it's still your whatever percentage you risk. But worst case scenario, you will still lose that 1% or 0.5%. Best case scenario, you're going to have a shit ton of orders reaching your profit. Oh, dude, Wyckoff can be on 5 seconds if you want. In fact, my best trade in my life that I've ever achieved, I have never been able to achieve it again, was on NASDAQ on 5 seconds. Wyckoff. It was the longest Wyckoff. It covered the whole freaking screen. but it was 5 seconds to 5 minutes, right? But I actually entered on 5 seconds on a test of a spring. It was the biggest trade I've ever done. It's still my proudest moment. I still can't recreate it, come close. It's 20 lots on NASDAQ. It was $80,000. It's freaking like best day of my life. So it was how I passed the challenge, number one on FTMO. Unfortunately, it wasn't real money. It was just passing the challenge, but it was like all in one day. This is my last day of the challenge. It's freaking awesome story. But anyway, Wyckoff can be anywhere. Just make sure you don't switch. Like if you're looking for Wyckoff on 4 hour, don't be like, okay, I don't see Wyckoff on 4 hour, but maybe I'll look at 1 minute. Oh, there's Wyckoff now. Every time frame has its own structure, and you can be on a 4 hour bullish structure, and it would be an accumulation, but you'd be looking at distribution on 1 minute. So make sure you're like a good way. If you read Rubin's book, Ruben Villahermosa's book, he talks about how a good way to recognize a spring, right? Like this spring here on 15 minutes is probably a full-blown Wyckoff on 5 seconds, or like 15 seconds. So that's a good way to look at it. Like when you have your POI, and let's say it goes into your POI, and you don't know, and you think this is some kind of Wyckoff, and then this is a terminal shakeout, and you're like, okay, now let's go to a smaller time frame and see if on a smaller time frame, just the spring in itself also forms a Wyckoff on a smaller time frame. And then you can always do that. But I personally believe you don't need Wyckoff. You don't need to understand Wyckoff to be profitable, because the AMD model that we teach with Pete, and supply and demand, liquidity, and structure is way more important. And to me, like let's say CHF JPY, you can come here, right? I can come here right there on 15 minutes, doesn't matter what, right? You could start marking out Wyckoff and say, okay, well, this is preliminary supply, and this is my buying climax. Okay, that's my automatic rally, and this is my ST, and this is another ST, and this is another ST, and this is my upthrust. Okay, and this is my UTAD or something, right? And this is my signal of weakness. Great. You mark this all out, right? And you have no idea what's going on. You just memorize the freaking labels, and you think, okay, well, after signal or whatever, and it broke the range. Great, that's my rule. I need to come back, and I will enter here. And the market kills you, and you have no idea why. Because you did, and then it went down. So what failed? Now, a person like Mike, who's one of the best traders I've ever met, back tested 4,000 of these, I'm sure he knows. But especially if you're a beginning trader, it's a hard bread to make. So to me, it's much easier to understand order flow shift and to see where the last low that created the high was, which is that one. That was the low that created the highest high, or maybe this is the wick right there. Boom. Where is that low gets broken? Right here. Okay, what broke that low? Okay, it's something in here. Now I need to analyze here and to see where the supply and demand is, where the last mitigation is, so I can get a perfect entry here. And, I'm ballparking. Or you can say, okay, this is the accumulation, this is the manipulation, this is the distribution, this is the mitigation. Or you can wait for last point of supply on Wyckoff. And then hopefully this last point of supply is not going to, hit you out of the market. So like, you see what I'm saying? Like I understand that, and this is what I want you guys to do. Understand how the market interacts and where liquidity sits and where the less supply and demand is, where the less liquidity was grabbed. Because I can see where liquidity was grabbed over here. I don't have to explain to you why right now, but I can say that if I put my extreme order over here and stop loss over here, I've been fine. And it'd been like 2 pips. If I'm wrong, guess what? It's coming back and coming higher. But if I'm wrong, okay, I'm going to lose, what, 2 pips? So be it. So that's, I mean, everyone can trade. I'm not dogging anyone. Like, I think Wyckoff is the smartest way to trade, the most patient way to trade. And I think Mike is one of the best traders I've ever met. But is it easy to trade with Wyckoff? Absolutely not. And my purpose for my snipers personally with every student is to make trading as easy as possible. I'm not saying trading is easy. Trading is hard, especially discipline-wise. But what I'm saying is I want to make trading so it's you have AMD or you have order flow shift. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. If you don't have those 4 steps, you don't take the position. If you have the 4 steps, you take the position. And there's other things like exchanges and add-ons and all that shit. But the initial trade, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not there. You don't take the trade. You go away and you go take your girlfriend for sushi. If it's there, you crank that order and you put 20 lots and you're done for the week. Or you pass the FTMO. Done. You know what I mean? All right.
So,
that was like a long answer.
Yeah, but I mean, I think people need to understand too, not to misunderstand the fact that understanding Wyckoff is extremely powerful. But we're trying to do is simplify everything. Wyckoff basically allows you to understand why the market is moving the way it is and the motive that's involved in. It's not a schematic. It's not just labeling something. It's more than that. Understanding the price action, the momentum, the volume, all that kind of stuff is important. But you have to understand the grand scheme of things to understand what's actually going on. And you can't learn that in 2.5 weeks. It takes a long, long time to really understand, and maybe reading the book 3, 4 times like we have done. I know Mike has done.
Let's look at Bitcoin. I'm bored. Let's look at Bitcoin fast, and I'll let everyone go. How many people got left on the stream?
20, 21.
Ruben Villahermosa's book? Shit, boy, you're behind times.
It's all right. I'll find the link for him.
Just say Ruben Villahermosa Wyckoff on Amazon. Well, actually, we can have I can get you free links. There's a ton of them. It's this one. All right.
Real.
But even if you buy it, it's not fucking expensive.
No.
$28. It's not that much to deposit into your education, especially if your poison of choice is Wyckoff. How bearish are we on AJ? Oh man, this is clean. AJ and me are divorced for now, but this is still clean. Oh shit. What to do with you? I like this. I like this. Actually, I like this even more. I like this entry. If it comes here. We got trap. I don't like this wick. I hate wicks. Yeah, it's the first area, but this is definitely my second area. I won't be surprised. You could either drop or come back. No play on AJ. I don't like it right now. I am bearish as hell on it though, because gold is bearish as hell. But I don't have a very good entry on it. So this is another thing I want to tell you guys. If your pair does not have a clean entry, trade something else. It's my advice. Why come up with entries that aren't there and getting burned? Write down why you got it. Oh, well, because that's my pair. That's the only thing I trade. Well, if that's the only thing I trade, don't trade it that day. There's no trade for you. If you can't trade anything else, then just don't have to trade that day because there's no setup. Quality over quantity, guys. Quality over quantity. That does not include research 0.01 positions. Yes, I feel like there's a disclaimer after that.
Yeah, right.
Okay, yeah, Bitcoin. Let's go to Bitcoin and see what that bitch is doing. So I'm bullish on the indices. I'm bearish on EU, GU, and gold. And GA, actually, right now, I am. Wait, what did I say? Yeah, I'm bearish on GU, EU, and gold to do a bullish entry later. And we're bullish right now to go bearish on GA. And Euro GBP, bearish to go bullish later, but right now, definitely bearish. That was my setups. Okay, so Bitcoin. What did you do? Holy mother of God. This is good. Brian, this is good. You got some money in Bitcoin.
Nice.
Even though I wanted mother to drop. Well, we're obviously bullish as hell on it. So don't just sell for no reason. Oh, all this liquidity, everyone's gonna die. It's gonna drop so hard. I see posts is going. I see one guy post 250,000 this year. Get a freaking life! No way in hell. I'm gonna put my house. It's not gonna happen this year.
And I'm gonna enter the NFL draft next year too.
250,000 bigger. Give me like you need the whole world to be trading Bitcoin for it to reach 250 grand this year. Crazy. The market like it's not capped. It's just like people do claims like this. It just makes me laugh. What's next? Dogecoin at 50,000. Is an even better claim. Now, so we're coming here. Bitcoin might be clean, guys. I mean, like Bitcoin is.
This is where you find your points of interest, find the extremes, find your
where yeah, have air, sure. Yeah, let me just look at. I'm just entertaining. I don't trade this, but I mean, just
the spreads are so damn high.
Yeah, it's 160 pips or 140 for me, something like that. I know. You could use a different broker, but ain't nobody got time for that. Oh yeah. This is way too good. This is where Bitcoin's coming, guys. Oh shit. Oh, come on.
And this is where you make it super, super stupid simple. Find your points of interest, go to lower time frame, find your order flow shift, and go.
Yeah, we're at the demand, but there's a hole between demand and this. Yeah, we're definitely coming to like 56 and then dropping to hell. Although we could drop to hell earlier, but we need an order flow shift. But I think we're just going to go bullish all the way. Get people saying, holy crap, I told you it's going to go back up. And then all the way to over here, or actually over here, 20,000. That's where I want to see Bitcoin next year, 20,000. That's where I'll buy. All right, so that's enough of that. I didn't know it was that high. Holy crap. I thought it was like a 35. And I haven't checked crypto lately. But this is beautiful redistribution, just sucking everyone to buy right now. Again, look at this sell here. Look at how price just killed from here. Suck people up up some more, mitigate, and just drop. Supply demand, blah, 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 come back. But man, 56,800. Remember that area, guys. 56,800. Write somewhere down so that I said that. If it turns out somebody owes me a beer. All right, cool. All right, let's go to the NAS and then wrap it up because I am tired. Ooh, NAS is bullish as hell. NAS to the moon. NAS is going to the moon. All right, like, okay, tell me, why would anyone want to sell this? Although we are compressing a little bit, the distance between here and here and here and here is much smaller. And the drops, but the drops, you see the distance, look at this, guys. What I want you to look at is this, right? So when we dropped here, you see the distance of the down move versus the distance of the up move is constantly increasing. Then we got the order flow shift, come back and go. Here, as we drop, the distance of the drop is decreasing, but the distance of the expansion is increasing. Now we're consolidating. So it might be signifying like we might have a shift soon, but not yet. Not yet. We're still mitigating from the bottom. So yeah. Okay, so let's just talk structure real fast. All right, so you got high, got low, you got higher high. Right. You got mitigation. You got mitigation and nothing else. And liquidity. We are in the middle of nothing, and this is 1 hour, so large enough time frame. This is Asian high that got taken, so Asian loans got to get taken too. So the question is, are we going to be crazy and take something out here? Or are we going to mitigate? Or are we going to take this wick and then go up? Definitely bullish. Like, I'm not looking for a sell. I'm not. I mean, you could try sell to buy, but like I said, we're bullish from here to here right now. And to be honest, I'm not sure if this is mitigation. Well, let's assume I buy it. So it'd be at least from here to here, right? This is liquidity. So
before I forget, there's a question about Ripple XRP. What you think about it?
The only way I trade cryptos is with divergence. Oh, I never went over divergence. Shit.
Next Monday.
Yeah, let's do next Monday.
Let's do it. It's been a while since we focused on it, so it's probably a good thing.
That's true. I haven't done divergence in a very long time. In a very long time. Yeah. So, you know, instead of coming up with shit, if there's a divergence between NAS and US 30, you can sell it to buy it here. It's just a question. Nice. Don't be so sure. Don't be so sure. not done yet. All right, I'm coming lower. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we technically this here is the last sell, right? So this was the last sell. 14,940. There is the smart money trap. Oh, I heard my voice. And here is where the cookie crumbles. And here is the extreme. So it's actually, if I were to put a buy limit, it would be at 14,1880. Right here. If I were to put a buy limit. But this whole area from 14,1940 is the POI from the higher time frame. All right, so obviously this is going to here. That is absolutely insane. But that here is the area where you got to start looking for the order flow shift. If I'm trading this, my buy limit is here, 14,880 to 14,1860, which is 20 points on indices, which is very respectable. Stop loss. No, 16 points, which is very, very small for the indices, which is good. All right. And you go 16 to 300 something. Oh, what am I saying? No, stop loss is 18 pips. So 1 to 16. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Yeah. So you gotta, yeah, exactly. So if I'm doing a buy limit, this is my buy limit. Now think about it like 16 points and like how much lots can you do on that? And then it goes for 183, right? 183 points, which is 1,800 pips. I mean, shit. Is what I gotta say. So, it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So that's, I mean, that's all she wrote. Like, there's this a huge liquidity here. It's a huge liquidity here. That's just waiting for people. There's a bunch of no action today and bullshit. So you can't, like, I don't even want to come up with shit here. I don't want to like try to figure out, oh, maybe it'll just, no, not interested in any of this. Yeah, well, I just rearranging, but not doing anything. So leading for IWM is the Russell small tech stocks falling first. Is it falling? Oh, yeah, we got to drop for a little bit before we go up. IWM. Whee! This took out liquidity again. You always got to say, okay, if the liquidity was here and we took it out, right? It's a wick, so it's going to go higher later. But we took liquidity to do something. And something is common, clean. So yeah. Yep. So I'm looking for NAS to drop to that area and then look for the order flow shift or the buy at extreme. Okay, so that was it. So David, market only comes to 2 points. Either the last supply and demand exchange point, and there's 4 types of supply and demand, right? Types. Supply and drop, base drop, rally base rally, drop base rally, rally base drop. So 4 types of supply and demand, right? Forms. And What was I gonna say? Yeah, so like see if market, I'm just gonna just pick on this. Right, market drops and it can come to either supply and demand point or extreme. Right, so if it comes here, it can also keep going and come to the extreme as well, but always comes to 2 points. Right, so my rule is I will place a sell limit or buy limit on an extreme, because on an extreme your risk is like 1, 2, 3, 5 pips tops. And I will watch for order flow shift in areas of supply and demand, which is my POI. Because usually market compresses there always, and then it's either gonna push up, or it's gonna fail and mitigate. And so it's gonna do this, where it's gonna break the last low that made the last high, and then it's gonna mitigate in itself from extreme to push down. So if it breaks structure, I know that it'll come back either here or to the extreme that's unmitigated. That would be a sell limit. That would be, once again, an order flow shift. Hope that makes sense. So my limits are always at extremes, always. Everything else I trade market price. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for attending. Sorry for my rant at the beginning. I just hate when people piss me off. Calm down. Quickly, we have a bootcamp with Peter on October 9th. It's right now 4 slots left for early bird. It's $100. After that, it goes up to $150 for regular, $300 for VIP. And students is always $100. So if you are a student, it's $100 for you. We're gonna have everything in a little course that will cover everything from basics of structure to the AMD. There's gonna be a million of examples, liquidity, inducement examples. There's gonna be, we're gonna go all out, everything, no secrets, 6-7 hours. It's just gonna be insane for very little price. So the link is on my Instagram, which is @LordFury83. Or you can always direct message me on Discord or Instagram, whatever, with questions. And I'm gonna do a bunch of videos about it later. All right. Again, thanks for attending, and I'll see you all. Let's trade lightly and trade good. Take care, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.